detective thrill me.
Thanks for joining us again. Although I'm not 100% sure if you'll want to stay. Because today's film, look, it's a tough one. It's a Christmas film. It's part of a franchise. Silent Night, Deadly Night 4, Initiation. But before we get to this mind-bending schmozzle, let's quickly go through what we've been watching. I have actually watched some stuff, Jared.
Right.
I know, it's a surprise, but obviously we went to the cinemas, to the National Film and Sound Archive on Wednesday night and Thursday night. And so
one film.
And watched Die Hard 2. I'm glad they did it, because everyone does Die Hard.
Yeah,
but
mixed it up a
forgetting
little
that
bit.
Die Hard 2 is also set at Christmas. I really enjoy Die Hard 2. It's good fun. It's not as tight as the first one.
No.
And it just lacks a few of those moments, and the villain's not really there at the level of your Hans Gruber was. But the action stuff's really, really good.
Yeah, it's still a pretty awesome movie.
Yeah, I love the fact they've still got Al Powell, Holly,
Yeah.
Dick Thornburg. They're still there.
Yeah.
You know, it feels like the first one.
And I think I said to you, to me, that's what puts it over part 3. Like, I love part 3 as well, but I feel like after we get out of the puzzle stuff, part 3 kind of drops off a bit.
It does.
So part 2, for me, is better because I feel like even though the action's not as tight, she's still pretty fucking brisk for most of the runtime, and there's some cool twists and turns. And the thing that sets it off for me is Bonnie Bedelia.
Yeah.
And to having Dick Thornburg back as well is a win. That's, to me, what puts it above part 3.
Yeah, agreed. So I really liked it. Really enjoyed the opportunity to see it again on the big screen. I watched the first 3 episodes of the second season of Reacher on Amazon Prime. Really, really good. Really good. It's really sort of starting to hit its stride. Good fun, funny, plenty of biffos. Good stuff.
Yep.
Watched the second season of Surviving R. Kelly.
Yeah, right.
Holy shit. Fucking hell, that's hard to watch. I mean, the fact that this guy seemed to get away with this for so long is very hard to cop.
Yeah.
And to listen to the victims tell their story. I think that's the best part of the whole documentary is they get to tell their story, and it's told primarily from their perspective, which is good. I watched a comedy. I hired a comedy called No Hard Feelings. Got Jennifer Lawrence in it.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
Was it?
Yeah, it drops off after a while because it gets all dramatic. You know, it starts to go away from the comedic stuff.
Yeah.
But for a while there, it's quite humorous, and she's really good.
Yeah.
She's a really good actress, but got some good comic timing there.
Yeah, I got no doubt about that. Like, I've seen her, when you see her doing interviews on the likes of Jimmy Fallon and stuff like that, she's always funny. She's always up for a laugh. And quite frankly, her episode on, what's the show called where they eat the hot wings?
Oh, yeah.
I've watched a few of them. Hers is one of the funniest.
Yeah.
She's fucking, yeah.
And, look, it was pretty good for a while, but it just kind of goes into that sort of away from, I think, what I was hoping it would be, just kind of like a bit of a raunchy comedy the whole way.
Yeah.
Which is disappointing, but it was okay. I watched Creepshow 2, Jared.
Mm-hmm.
Rubbish. Like, Creepshow's not great, but it's definitely better than Creepshow 2. Which I remember Creepshow 2 being more prevalent in my youth.
Yeah.
Creepshow 2 is kind of... I think it's because I watched it a lot more.
The Raft, pretty much.
The Raft is good, yeah. The Raft is good. The other two are just abysmal. The Hitchhiker
I need to watch
sucks.
The Hitchhiker again because I actually don't mind. I recall not minding The Hitchhiker, whereas you've just fucking absolutely piled on
It's
it.
about nothing. It's just fucking bullshit.
Well, it's just one of those old urban legends just whacked into a
Needed
short.
to be given a little bit of, a little freshen up, though, as to what we were doing with it. Old Chief Woodenhead. I used to enjoy Old Chief Woodenhead back in the day, but it's kind of, it's a bit creaky. And it's only 3 stories, whereas I think the first one was 5.
Mm.
And the last thing I watched, Jared, was I went for some more of an independent sort of thriller called Outpost, and it's directed and written by the guy who played Boyle out of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And his wife was the star, and it very much reminded me of that game Firewatch, where she's recovering from trauma, and she volunteers to be on one of those fire towers, and she starts to basically unravel while she's there. It was pretty good for the first probably 40 minutes or so. Oh, fucking hell, she goes a bit loose. She goes right off the fucking reservation in the back end. And by the end of it, I was just like, oh my God, I'm not quite sure how we got to all this, but it was okay.
Okay.
If you're interested in that stuff, it might be worth it. But that was it. What'd you have?
Nothing.
Die Hard 2.
I've been out of town, so Die Hard 2. I did start watching a little film called Icebreaker with Bruce Campbell and Sean Astin, but unfortunately I fell asleep while I was watching it. So.
Not a good film.
Well, it's on Riff Tracks, so that's probably not an indication that it's a good film. Funnily enough, the guy that directed it appears to have a number of his films on Riff Tracks, so
he's not making great.
I wouldn't say he's upper tier, but I'll report back on that one.
Okay, good. That was it. All right, we'll do a quick up or down. Jared, I put this on our Facebook page a couple of days ago. It is the teaser trailer for Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F, which is the new Beverly Hills Cop film, which is coming to Netflix next year. I am going to have to say it's a down for me. There was not a lot there.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not a very good trailer, but I think for a Beverly Hills Cop movie, you got to try and throw in a little bit of humour if you can. Couple of gags. I got fucking nothing out of that.
None.
And it doesn't seem to be... I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I mean, obviously I'll watch it. It's on Netflix.
Well, what happened? I mean, 10 minutes ago, you were telling me it was... you were excited. You were up for it. You were up for it.
I'll watch it, of course, but... the trailer.
I think you were legitimately pumped. There was a bit of a twinkle in your eye while you were talking about it.
There's a twinkle. Look, it'd be nice to see. It was nice to see Eddie back in that role because they've been talking about it for so long.
Yeah.
But the concern is that it's just a fucking dashed off turd that Netflix is.
Well, number one, the fact that it's Netflix doesn't give me a lot of.
It used to be a mark of quality. Now it's a mark of just.
Well, I feel like it still is to a point, but I don't know. I just get cynical about the bigger movies that they just toss out that seem to have not really any concern as to whether it's any good or not.
Yeah.
Quite frankly. But yeah, there was nothing. There was absolutely nothing I know it's just a teaser, but surely there's got to be something. The only part that got me mildly excited was
the three of them in the car together.
Yeah, correct.
And it's good to see them all back.
I'm jaded with Eddie. I've been burned too many times. You know, I used to love the man, and I watched Norbit when it first came out because I still had hope. I was still hoping, maybe this might be another.
Is that where it went to shit for you?
Well, I watched Norbit. I watched The Adventures of Pluto Nash.
Oh.
I believe I had a VHS copy of Metro.
You know what? Metro's not that bad.
So, look, it's just been a number of years now just waiting for this to come right with Eddie, and it just hasn't. His dramatic stuff has been. That's where he popped up in Dreamgirls, obviously,
and then he had the one on Netflix.
Yeah, My Name is Dolomite.
Yeah, that was cool.
So I didn't like Dreamgirls very much at all, but I thought he was excellent in it. And I haven't seen My Name is Dolomite yet, but everying says
Dolomite was
pretty good.
It was really good.
But I can't get excited about Eddie in a movie anymore.
No.
I mean, the most excited I've got was recently when he popped up in a straight to Amazon Christmas one called Candy Cane Lane, and then I started reading some reviews, and I'm like, fuck, you can't even get this right anymore. What's going on, Eddie? Look, I'm very down on it.
My concern with this too is that it won't lean into the age thing too.
But there's,
because it's not the sort of series that has that.
When we've seen teasers and stuff for these characters that are going to come back after a while, or fucking Rambo Last Blood's teaser had me
My scrotum had never been milked so hard. I remember watching that trailer and thinking, holy shit, this is going to be awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't get it. So maybe that's a good sign.
Because it's a rubbish. And look, one thing,
I felt nothing.
Bacon sizzles and everything.
Yeah.
And he's in it. So
he looked like it straight away. I looked at it and I was like, is he the bad guy?
Yeah, of course he
is.
And the cast, it's also got Joseph Gordon-Levitt in it, so I don't know. But the teaser trailer sucks.
I'll tell you what that says, Adam. That says Netflix opened up the wallet.
Yeah.
That's all
Joseph's looking for work. Because
I mean, he does his independent stuff, but you got to make a big one occasionally just to fatten the bank account, and then
true.
Yeah,
I don't have high hopes.
I'm not super excited. I thought I would be, but I just can't muster. I couldn't muster anything. I was like a stone watching it, Adam.
The Beverly Hills Cop series has always been a light, like humorous series.
Yeah, there's always been funny parts in it.
And it's also not built for something like what they did with Top Gun. You know, how they leaned into Maverick being old and obsolete and all that sort of shit.
I mean, there's always room for that. It's just whether it works or not.
But
I mean, Indy leaned into it, didn't do anything for him.
Oh, no, Indy leaned into it, it didn't work.
Indy lead fell over and couldn't get back up, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. See, TC gets back up. He breaks his ankle, gets back up. And does it all over again.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Well, TC's dangling off the plane that Harrison's flying at the time.
I have to give it a down.
Yeah, it's a down for me.
Not for me.
All right. It hurts me to do it.
It does hurt me to do it. No, well, no, it doesn't, because you just said Eddie Murphy's a piece of shit. Movies are shit.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I don't want him to be good.
No, I want the guy to succeed. How old is he?
I used to love the guy.
How old is he? He must be 60.
He'd be pushing 60 now, wouldn't he?
Yeah. I mean... Yeah.
And I still think, I'm sure there's still... You don't just forget how to be funny. Like, I just question how much he wants to do it anymore.
Yeah. Maybe the fire of sort of... Or the interest level.
Because he was king shit in the 80s and late 80s, early
80s. Into the mid-90s.
Yeah.
Up until Nutty Professor, he was king shit.
Yeah. So, I don't know what his motivation really is to do it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I hope I'm totally wrong and it's awesome.
What I hope is that, because they did a TV pilot for Beverly Hills Cop, which was Eddie passing the torch over to someone else, and it didn't get picked up. Thank fuck. But well, it didn't get picked up. And I don't think his heart was in it then.
Yeah.
My concern would be is that he's only back for the paycheck, rather than I really liked what they were going to do with it.
Yeah.
And so I decided to come back.
Possibly.
So it'll be interesting to see.
Which I can't blame him for, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna produce his best work.
No. All right, let's take a break. And here's the trailer for 1990's Silent Night, Deadly Night 4, Initiation.
A bizarre event.
Police continue to investigate the bizarre suicide.
An inexplicable phenomenon.
No ID. They said they know nothing about it.
This would make a great story.
For her, it was the chance of a lifetime.
I work for the LAI. I'm an investigative reporter. There's got to be some logical explanation for the burning.
But some questions
Get away from me! Leave me alone!
are better left unanswered.
What happened? Are you all right? The woman who jumped. She was my daughter. But now you've come to take her place.
Make your fear real. Get it out.
It's the night you've been waiting for.
Help me! Please help!
Kill the man. Become a whole woman.
The night you've been screaming for.
This is the final step.
Silent Night, Deadly Night 4. Initiation.
You're one of us now.
Join the club.
Silent Night, Deadly Night 4, Initiation from 1990. Directed by Brian Yuzna, who directed The Dentist. Produced by Richard N. Gladstone, who produced The Hateful Eight. Stories by Brian Yuzna, Richard N. Gladstone, Arthur Gorson, who wrote Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, and S.J. Smith, who wrote Children of the Corn Revelation. The screenplay is by Zeph E. Daniel. I believe he was using the name Woody Keith
Yep.
It stars Clint Howard as Ricky, Neith Hunter as Kim Levitt, Tommy Hinkley as Hank, Hugh Fink as Jeff, and Reggie Bannister as Eli. I could not find a budget for this, and there's no box office because it was like direct to video. And this marks the first time in the series it doesn't involve a killer Santa. All right, Jared. How did you feel about this?
I really don't know, Adam. I think I hit a point about midway through the film where I was just in sort of a daze, and I was just like, I don't know what's going on. I just don't. And I'm a simple man, Adam. Yeah. I don't require a killer Santa. I'm okay for you to come at it from a different angle. You know, like I like Halloween 3. Okay? I don't mind it. I wasn't there at the time up in arms that there wasn't Michael in it, but when I watch the movies now, I like it. This one...
I needed a killer Santa.
Well, I didn't need a killer Santa, but I needed something related to the Christmas theme that the movie's kind of set around. At least Halloween 3 was still set around Halloween, but I was just utterly confused. And I think, look, I get that there's a level of depth that you want to go to. Like Brian Yuzna's obviously got an idea and he wants to put some imagery and some themes out there. And I'm not going to pretend I have studied, I don't know, biblical stories and whatever it is. I know enough about Lilith to kind of get the feminist theme running through it. But there was other parts where I was utterly confused as to what was going on, and I don't necessarily think that was because I was missing that much.
No.
I just think it was because it just focused so totally on some of the imagery and maybe went too far that direction. But I was just I was numb halfway through. I stopped taking notes. I was just kind of looking at it with a furrowed brow, like, What are we doing? Like, where are we at?
Yeah.
I think I've got to give it a 1 because the effects are impressive. The effects are very impressive. I think it's competently made, but some of the acting is very under par for mine. And I just felt I needed more of the story. I needed more story, and I needed it to be Christmas. Otherwise, why did you bother calling it Silent Night, Deadly Night? The only relation to Christmas was that we had someone saying, "Oh yeah, well, you're going to meet my parents," and then we get the sense that it's around Christmas. We don't go back to that again until we go back to that house with the Christmas tree. That's the only link to Christmas that we got.
I mean, this movie, you look at the cover of it, and you look at how fucking what false advertising is there. There's a knife and a Christmas tree and all this shit, and none of it is in there.
No.
I had to give it half. It's just a mess. It's incomprehensible.
Yeah.
And Brian can fucking wax lyrical all he wants about where he got the demonic details from, and it comes out of this fucking law or whatever.
And
I don't care. You
was...
have to explain that to me, Brian.
Well, you've got to...
Successfully,
we've said it before,
mate.
Like great effects and influences of this other stuff that they supposedly put in there. And, you know, we read a bit about how he was putting stuff on screen that had double meanings and all this sort of stuff. That doesn't mean it's a good movie.
No.
Like, it was a tough watch.
But you've got to connect all that, Brian.
Yeah.
You can't just fucking have it. It's like a fucking, bag of marbles.
Well, he did this stuff in Society. He did a lot of the imagery and whatnot. But that movie made some sense, and you got the understanding of what was going on. I just lacked it in a lot of areas in this. That might be my fault, but looking at the reviews, I think many people also might have lacked.
I think everybody,
understanding,
not just you and me.
So I personally, some people say that the third one was worse.
No.
Is the low point?
No,
I reckon this was far worse.
This is far, far worse.
The third one is down the line. There's no double meaning in that one whatsoever.
It's a fucking sequel meaning.
But I enjoyed it. I mean, we had a good laugh and just kind of enjoyed it.
I gave it 2, I think.
Yeah, I think I gave it a 2 as well. It was a bit of a fun watch. So I couldn't say the same about this one.
It just meanders around and brings nothing of value to the table. The acting's terrible. The fucking plotting's just non-existent.
Yeah.
And again, I come back to, but we pulled Lilith from this this, ancient text and stuff. You have to tell me that in the movie, Brian. You barely fucking got to any of that.
Well, that's right. They get to it at the end after it's all.
It's just ridiculous. Like, you have to set things up.
Yeah. Yeah, there's got to be some level of understanding. I don't mind if you're kind of paralleling it with things like that, but you've got to set it up a little bit. And you can see that he did initially with some of the stuff in the office being dominated by men and all that sort of thing.
I get all that, but
it just felt like it stalled a bit in favour of the imagery.
A total bummer.
a total bummer.
Yep. I would never.
Not a zero. You've handed out a couple of zeros.
No, I've handed out a couple of zeros, but they're more for real hatred. I don't hate this movie. I just don't. I would never watch it again.
If I make you watch it again, will it be a zero?
Oh, fuck. Yeah, probably.
I've got to watch it again. I have to watch the commentary because I need to
connect the dots.
I don't necessarily. I need Brian to explain himself. To be honest.
I know. And Brian had been making films for years prior to this, and it feels like there was just a ton of it just left out, or explanations are not necessary. It could have been budgetary. I'd say the budget was pretty low.
Yeah.
But, it doesn't make any sense at all.
But then you mentioned, that he was part of producing and co-writing Part 5.
Yeah.
And we went back to some killer Christmas vibes in that one. So maybe it's about a toy maker, and as far as I understand, there is more kind of killer Santa sort of angle in that one than
It'll be interesting to see how that one plays out.
So maybe he understood that he possibly kind of went a little bit too far off track on this one.
Yeah.
But as I said, I need an explanation.
Well, that's fair. Likes FX.
Yeah.
I mean, Screaming Man George knows his way around that kind of gooey kind of shit where your body horror type stuff.
Yeah, and anytime there was like bugs crawling under the skin or something, like it looked very good. It looked
he
creepy.
Seems to know his way around that stuff.
Yeah, and most of the moments in the movie that had an impact were related to something that happened, something gross that happened with the effects, or something that kind of made you sort of sit back and go, oh shit, like that was all effects related in my book.
Yeah, agreed. Now she starts off pretty quick.
Yeah, starts off pretty well.
Woman falls off roof of building. Allegedly catches fire. Although I've got questions.
Yeah. She catches fire. But everyone comes around to spontaneous combustion very quickly. I mean, we'll come back to that, but yeah.
Pretty quickly.
But yes, there's a mystery around
Nobody else saw the incident, but they're all going for spontaneous combustion.
Yeah, correct. Correct. Yep.
So she falls off the roof. She's on fire. Then it's followed immediately by a bit of smut in a sleazy motel.
Yeah.
So Brian seems to know, look, this is B-grade schlock.
Yeah,
right? And so we need to play to the lowest common denominator. Also, they're in quite a complex sex position. which
yeah, I got some. We're going to talk about that later.
If I don't foam roll pre and post, I cannot do that.
We'll get into that. Yeah. We'll get into that because that comes up a little bit later as well. But yes, he kind of seems to know.
He kind of knows that this is what this direct-to-video.
He knows the market. He knows the business side of things.
Yeah.
He's spoken to Roger Corman a couple of times, and he said, "What's that formula you got about how many times, how many boobs need to be seen?
Correct. When do we first see them? First 3 minutes? Yes. Done.
Yes.
That was it. That's all I had.
Okay. Well, I
had nothing.
Funnily enough, one of my first likes was where would we be without Clint Howard acting like a scumbag?
Well, yeah.
But later on, I felt like I needed to scratch that one off.
Yeah, especially when he gets himself involved in the fucking orgy or whatever they have it in the meat locker.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's getting super weird.
Things got weird there, yep.
And I suggest it's not Clint's finest hour.
No, I don't think it is. But I had one other one, and again, it's a little one, but I did kind of laugh when she goes over to her boyfriend's house for dinner, and Dad's been on the nog and he's just
He's just an absolute
like an absolute arsehole. I mean, talk about driving your point home about men and patriarchy, like Jesus Christ.
Let's just beat us over the head with that.
Yeah. He's sitting there telling his wife, "Yeah, go and get me another one."
You know what,
and then
mate?
saying,
It's funny.
women should be in the kitchen, not at jobs, or women should be at the home. They should be the homemaker. I'm like, Jesus, mate.
Well, it's interesting that you say that, because that probably would have been the way things were in 1990.
Well, yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? The guy of that generation probably was. But it was so... I mean, the part that made me laugh was that he's so overtly, like so over the top, and everything they say, he's in the other fucking...
Yeah, the other camp.
And really fucking driving it home. So I got a bit of a chuckle out there because he was just so... You know, like the dad in Halloween 6, it was Captain Arsehole all over again. There's no redeeming quality about the man. So, yeah, it did certainly drive that. You know, if that's the way we thought we were going, yeah, that's where we're going. That's definitely where we're going.
Yeah. Are you under no illusions?
I get an element of this. There's a feminist angle that we're going to go with.
Yeah.
Okay, I know where I stand.
Okay. Got anything else?
That was it. After that point, I mean, for the rest of the movie, it really is the effects that stand out for me.
Yes.
We kind of mentioned that. Yeah. But
it doesn't grapple. It doesn't get anything. You don't see any other sort of key sequences that are good to watch.
Yeah.
which is saying a lot.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, straight dislikes. Acting. Flat.
Yeah. I actually read something, and I think you had a browse over the same article that was talking about, you know, the positive qualities of this movie. And it was kind of glowing, to be honest. But it mentioned that the lead character was a really kind of underrated performance and really stands next to some of the greats. I'm sorry, but it's just not even close. And I think a lot of it comes down to the acting. The acting is not good.
Look, when Clint Howard's your best performer and things are not great.
Yeah.
Are they?
Well, Clint's a good actor.
Clint
solid just gets put
performer.
in. Just as you said, you know, we spoke about. Imagine getting the call from the agent. Oh yeah, I've got another scumbag for you to play, Clint.
What do you think?
Have you got a leading man? No, fuck no. I mean, look at you.
Have a look at you, mate. No chance. And you know what? He carved out a very nice career.
He did.
Out of playing these type of characters.
And I legitimately think he is a good actor.
Yeah, and I think he kind of leaned into this.
Yeah.
After a while.
I actually, I find most of the performances pretty flat. Reggie Bannister's a bit of fun, like basically being a piece of shit as well. And the older of the witch trio, who we discovered is the same lady that was on the plane in Die Hard. Die Hard 2, sorry. I thought she's a reasonable actor. Yeah. She had a long career, and I think there's a reason because she can handle what she's given here.
I mean, 1990 was a big year for her.
It was a big year for her.
1 minute she's on a plane in Die Hard 2, the next minute she's doing this. Yeah. Fuck. I fire my agent if that's what happens.
But yeah, outside of that, like when we're picking those people as the standout performers, it's probably an issue.
Yes. Because they're in it minimally as well.
Yeah.
So that means your key players, Kim, the girl, and Hank, her boyfriend.
And Fema.
They're terrible. Like they don't carry the load. And I don't understand that article that you read. It's fucked.
No, I think that was way off base.
I can't see any of that.
No.
Plot.
Yeah. Plot.
Incomprehensible. I did not, at no point, did I know what was fucking going on.
No, it gets very abstract. It gets very abstract, but then as I said, I think it also just decides to go with the visuals.
Yeah.
So when you're not abstract, there's still not much story going on. Like, I don't know. I didn't know what was happening at certain points. And honestly, look, Silent Night, Deadly Night had carved out a niche. You've probably missed the market for this one.
And Jared, is it not easier to make a slasher picture?
Oh, of course it is. Of course it is.
So what the fuck are you doing? You dash off a quick slasher script.
Yeah. Well, you can go with the witch angle if it's going to be a little more traditional kind of slasher and incorporate the Christmas stuff. That would have been my notes as a producer. And of course, producer's notes are always, not
well
regarded. Yeah. I would have read this and gone, huh? Like, What are you talking about? Rewrite the whole thing.
Brian, are you on something? What the fuck happened to you?
When they mentioned Lilith in the script, I'd be saying I didn't meet this character of Lilith previously, so I'm somewhat confused, Brian.
Yeah, exactly. But also, I feel like it's easier to do a slasher movie. So why not just go down that route?
Yeah.
You're saying that maybe slashers were on the way out in 1990, but it was the video market. It didn't matter.
I've got no problem with Brian making this sort of stuff. Like, as I said to you, I like Society. And I think some of the themes that he was going on about are quite easy to navigate in that one, even though it does get a bit loose. But this one, like, I'm all for, like, I don't mind your story, like, if you're going to take it in the angle of, okay, well, Lilith is this little witch coven. They're worshipping Lilith, and it's all about, you know, we get the scenes of her in the office and being passed over for the jobs because the men are fucking putting forward stupid ideas and things like this, and that Lilith is all about defying the patriarchy, and you're getting in this coven of witches and they're initiating you into it and all this sort of stuff. But I just don't think, like, you didn't think about the Christmas portion, which seems like a pretty big part, given that it's fucking in the title. And
but also make it more accessible, bro.
Yeah, I think that's what these movies were. Bottom of the barrel. I mean, the first one was a utter knockoff, and that's all it was. So you've managed to whip that into a franchise. Why are you zigging?
The fuck are you doing zigging like this, though? That's the difference. Don't mind if you zig. You don't zig too far. These guys have zigged way out of step.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Maybe it should have been a Christmas cult of some sort.
Maybe it should have been. Should have been they worship Santa. What am I talking about? Oh, my God.
Yeah, I can see that. They kidnap people in a Santa sack.
Yes. Why not? I mean, that's silly as a wheel, but it would probably have at least worked in the context of what this franchise is.
Yeah.
Clint Howard eating a burger out of a fucking bin that's covered in maggots. For shame.
Put it away.
You know what? Don't do that shit.
Don't stop it. Yeah, we had a few moments like that. Old mate from the shop.
It was all burnt up too.
Yeah.
What the fuck was going on there?
But you know, the bloke old mate from the shop when she's trying to get some peanuts and he comes out covered in blood and guts and all sorts of shit.
They give that peanuts and hands them to her.
If that's your trade, I don't want to eat. I don't require your peanuts. I'll get them somewhere. I'll buy them packaged. I don't need
I'll get a little pack of knobbies, mate. I am not getting peanuts out of one of those fucking machines.
No, hell no. Especially when, like, I'm turning the little thing and then I peek in the shop and see what's going on and I kind of just leave it there. Yeah. I say to Clint Howard, hey,
have a free lot.
There's no maggots. There's a little bit of blood on it, but you can have these. Like, just take them.
I mean, again, I don't really know why that shit was there. Again, visual. Maybe they were visuals. I don't know. But none of that stuff worked at all.
Yep. I think the movie was summed up for me when she goes into FEMA's office and she's talking about the murder, but she goes, there's got to be a logical explanation for it. And FEMA says, there is not a logical explanation for it. And I thought, that's kind of how I feel about the movie after I've
There's no logic involved in this fucking disaster. Oh, God. Now, I've got a question for you, Jared. This is an interesting question coming back to sort of the two main characters are fucking in a sleazy motel.
Yeah.
Yet they're together.
Yeah.
I mean, that's more the domain of people who are rooting around.
It seemed a bit of a duck off at lunchtime and kind of...
Yeah, but you can go back to your apartment.
Well, they live in LA. Maybe it takes too long to drive there. So but as you kind of alluded to, I mean, what fucking page of the Kama Sutra did they find that one on? That was as soon as I saw the position they were in, I grabbed my lower back and said, "Oh, Jesus, I couldn't do that."
He seemed to be taking most of the weight on the end of his dog. Fucking hell! Honestly, I am going down in a fucking blaze of
as you said,
my back's fucked.
I can't go to the sleazy motel because at home I've got my foam roller, my massage gun, and I think afterwards I need to get the ice bath. So we're not going to find them in the fucking sleazy, in the fucking flea bag motel there.
My missus, my wife would be saying, "Okay, we've got 25 minutes." I said, "That's not that's all. That'll get me stretched."
I come out after 20 on the roller and say, "We got 5." We got 5 minutes. I can get it done in 3.
Yeah, we've got 5, but I tell you what, if you move the wrong way, I'm back on that roller. And it's fucking over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Herniated discs and shit. I can't handle this.
There was definitely some yoga involved before they started.
Yeah.
I think it looked like a session of hot yoga at one point. They just kind of racked up around each other. So, yeah, I don't know. But in terms of the motel, yeah, I'm not. I'll say, let's wait till this evening. Get home.
Yeah. I'm turning it down. Okay, listen. I am not fucking here.
Look, I like what you're talking about, but I don't want bed bugs biting me while we're doing it.
That's right.
So
that's right. Oh god.
I'd prefer not. There's probably blood stains on the bloody on the carpet.
Yeah, gunshots in the fucking nearby.
No thanks.
vicinity of it.
No thanks. We'll do it later.
Yeah, let's do it later.
By the same sort of questionable, there's a lot of questionable things going on in this movie. A picnic invite from the occult bookstore. My first instinct is no, I'm busy.
I've known you for 2 fucking seconds, and you run an occult bookstore, and you're talking to me about this bullshit that this this stuff about witches and everything, and you want me to turn up for what? Wine and cheese? Because fuck.
No, it's blood and cheese.
Because I am not having a bar of that. I am coming up with every excuse under the sun.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I've got.
No, I'm waiting for my boyfriend to finish stretching.
Yeah, I'm going to have sex in a shitty motel. I can't do it. Sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
Also,
I don't think why are we still running with fucking spontaneous combustion? Where did we get that from?
Yeah, that was a bit silly. That everybody she came across was like, spontaneous combustion. Surely the police are going back to the scene saying, we missed something.
Yeah, exactly. How'd this happen? And secondly, no one was there to see the fall.
Well, Clint Howard was eating a burger at the time, wasn't he?
But no.
Yeah, that was
She could have been set on fire on the roof and thrown off.
Well, I thought that's where the mystery part would come out, right? Like she's running with the story because they're like the police said there was no one else up there. Okay, well you go. So what I thought was in the newsroom they go spontaneous combustion, and we get the sense the newspaper's a sensationalist kind of.
Yeah.
But it comes up multiple times, and she even mentions
She's in the occult bookstore looking for shit about spontaneous combustion. I know there's a fucking plethora of books on that stuff.
Yeah, well, don't follow me to the bathroom because you might get some spontaneous combustion in there. But other than that...
Someone lit a match in the toilet at my place. It'd be combustion, all right?
But I think, it seems... I thought that's what the angle they were going for, that Reggie Bannister puts that out there as the editor goes with the sensationalist. We get the sense that she's working for the National Enquirer or something.
Yeah.
But then she goes, no, there's more to this, so I'm going to find out who did it. Not how did she spontaneously combust.
What they wanted is to put that headline next to I gave birth to Bigfoot's baby.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of Bat Boy returns. Also, FEMA, stop serving dates. Yeah. I'm not coming to your fucking picnic if you're serving dates.
Have one of these. She folds out a plate full of dates. Who the fuck gets anywhere with that? I'd rather eat the bloody peanuts.
I'd rather eat the bowl.
Yeah. Look, I'd love to, but no.
Sorry.
Look, I need roughage, but no thanks.
Yeah. I'm not coming to your picnic. Sorry.
Now, a gigantic cockroach the size of a fucking dog basically starts running around her house.
Yeah.
And instead of getting out of there, because I'm saying cockroaches don't get this big.
No, that's right.
she grabs a broom and starts chasing it around the place.
Yeah.
And also, she did not clean up that fucking pasta that was on the ground.
No, she left it there.
And then when she vomits, she doesn't even flush the toilet.
Yeah, we got problems here. Your hygiene is not up to par. That's the biggest issue here.
She still had vomit on the front of her shirt.
Yeah. That's when you get that, again. That's a opportunity for a Naked Gun style. You know, she goes to the kitchen and comes back with a fucking gigantic can of Mortine or something.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but yeah, that was kind of strange because that's when things started to really turn into okay. Well, we're getting a little bit
and the pasta
out
turns
there.
into like a hand.
The pasta, yeah, there was a funny shape to it, and yeah, the reactions to it were a little strange.
Yeah.
I mean, if I see a cockroach the size of a dog, first instinct is to get to the next room and then kind of assess things.
Yeah.
I don't pick up the broom.
Yeah, I get onto the phone to fucking bugger pest control mob.
Flick man.
And say, get your ass out here, mate. But let me tell you something, you need to bring more than the shit you've been bringing previously.
Bring the big truck.
Yeah. It's getting ugly. All right, now there's a sequence in. This is where things started to go. I mean, things were bad.
My nose dropped off here because I was just like...
This is where we started to go bad. There's a scene in the occult lady's apartment.
Yes.
Where it's just a big load of fucking gobbledygook about nothing.
It was a lot of goop.
And then suddenly she's being stripped nude, having shit wiped on her face, and then basically being impregnated with some kind of weird slug thing. And then there's a rat involved. And then she's having this cockroach is coming out. They cut it in half, and then
I missed the rat.
Goop all over the top of her fucking face with it. I can't even say that shit with a fucking straight face.
Okay, well, if you couldn't say that shit with a straight face, how'd you find Clint Howard with a dildo on his mask?
Well, that's where things got real weird.
Well, that's where it started to push to, wasn't it? And see, this is what I don't get. I don't get the feminine... This is probably what I'm not smart enough to get. Where does Clint Howard fit into that kind of theme? And what went on there?
But is he the male that they've oppressed sort of thing? So the tables have turned.
I guess so.
They're
possibly.
Oppressing a man by putting a fucking dick on his face.
Dildo on his nose. Yeah, you're a dickhead, and we've made it very clear. That's what you are.
Yeah.
So I think you might be onto something there.
Yeah, I think that was it.
But yeah, that whole thing, I think I kind of mentioned to you that it reminded me of Midsummer.
Fucking hell.
And Midsummer, although I think was...
much better made.
Well, it's better made. There was points of it where I was very, very much engrossed in what was going on, and there was some really elements that I still look back at and think, fuck, that was impactful. I was confused for a lot of that movie. And I look at this and I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm at the same spot.
Yeah. It just, none of that shit made no sense. Like, everything in that apartment, no sense whatsoever.
Yeah. But then we're back in the meat shop. I'm not a piece of meat, Jane.
Is she possessed, Jared?
She was acting like she was prior to that. When Clint Howard comes and kidnaps her.
And then the funniest thing about that is she's carrying on like a fucking lunatic, and yet the boyfriend still feels like, yeah, we're in here.
Yeah.
We're on for a go.
Yeah, and that probably fits into the commentary somewhere.
And then in comes Clint Howard, sits down, starts watching telly.
But don't forget, the woman walks in and looks at Clint Howard and goes, "Are you crazy?" And I just fucking burst out laughing. Like, what do you reckon?
Hell, what do you think?
What do you think?
You can't be that silly.
Oh, man.
Oh, for God's sake.
Yeah, it was... I just lost it at this point. I'd kind of just lost grasp of trying to put any of it together.
I'll have to backtrack quickly. When the father acts like an asshole at the party, at the Christmas gig, she comes outside with her boyfriend and she fucking tells him to fuck off in no uncertain terms.
Yeah.
She gives him the fucking news and the weather on the way out.
Probably fair because he's wearing a skivvy and then he starts coming onto her and she's obviously, I mean, it's pretty clear she's not in the mood. She's pretty upset after your prick of a father.
Yeah. Oh, come on, baby, shut up.
Yeah.
Let's do exactly what he says.
Yeah. So, yeah, she absolutely gives it to him.
Let's loose, which I thought was kind of all right.
And as I said, he seems like the type of bloke that goes, thanks for that, I'll take that feedback on board and we'll look for ways to act upon it.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. So, hang on. Is that you saying we're not having a bit of lunchtime nookie tomorrow?
Yeah. Good, because I've still got fucking bite marks on my ass from whatever's fucking crawling on the bed.
I'm still in traction prior to having to do that again.
Yeah, I've got to go to my chiropractor before we do that again.
It's a week minimum before we get back into that topic.
I'm going to be in one of those fucking videos where the chiropractor's fucking basically beating me senseless, fucking wrenching my back and doing all that. You get a little correction here.
Shit. In that same sequence where she's going crazy and trying to sleep with her boyfriend and Clint Howard walks in and turns on fucking Friday night footy. And
did you notice it was part 3?
Yeah, part 3. I'm far out. I mean, I would have left.
What I wouldn't have given for part 3 to actually just continue playing from that point on.
Exactly. But there's also a fight in the kitchen between him and the boyfriend, which just defies fucking explanation. It's beyond. I just could not understand what was going on. They're biting Achilles tendons and fucking shit.
Yeah.
Oh, for the love of God.
I don't know what to make of it.
I didn't know what to make of it, but I've only got one final note.
Okay.
Is when everyone's in the weird costume, Clint Howard's wearing like a dick on his face and doing all this ritual of some kind. I sort of felt like I'd gotten stupider. I thought, fucking hell, I clearly have missed something here.
Well, I thought to myself, I've definitely missed something because I've just got no concept of what's going on here at the moment. And I know, look, I probably need to read a few more books, a few more, brush up the knowledge a little bit.
If I need to read a book to understand that, I don't want to read
it. Exactly. Well, if it's the Kama Sutra to understand scene number 1.
Look, I'll have a look at that. I'll skim read that.
I'll flick. Yeah, I'll look at the pictures, but I won't read up on how to get my legs into that position.
Flick through it, then turn the page and go, oh, no, I can't handle that one. couple more pages.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll just be like the standard yoga session where they go, put this here, and you're like, nope, not doing that.
What happens if I can't put it there?
You're just
stand still.
Yeah.
Stand on the spot.
She just comes into the hotel room, you're laying on the bed going, take it or leave it. I'm not getting up.
I'd be laying on the bed going, oh, God. I feel fucking awful. My whole body hurts.
I can't get back up.
I'd be like, so are we doing this or what?
Yeah. No, you're definitely not one of the people she was talking about.
And if she says, no, I've lost interest, I have to roll off the
bed. She'd say, you're a piece of shit. Fuck you, like she said to the other bloke, and you'd be there going...
What I might do is have a little nap on this filthy mattress. You know what though? I had a bit of the massage gun last night.
Yeah.
And I laid down like this, arms out, and fuck Jared when it came time to get out.
You were stuck. You're telling me you were stuck in the Jesus position?
I was kind of set.
Yeah. I've moved my body into this position. It's kind of just...
I had to do a bit of rocking and shit. Holy shit.
I think you need more than a massage.
My shoulders are still on fire from it.
Yeah.
That was like 24 hours ago. Oh, Jesus Christ.
What setting did you happen to have it on?
Oh, no, the massage gun was fine. It was just that I hadn't got myself in the right spot.
Dear.
I think I need to do it with my arms underneath me.
I think your best option now is to start looking into those things where you can just take your brain and put it in a different body.
Yeah, I think that. I need a surrogate.
Actually, quite honestly, I'll take the brain too. Just
I need a surrogate.
Yeah,
like,
pretty much.
Someone who can do my working out for me.
Yeah.
Because fuck.
That's what I need.
I did a workout this morning that would have killed me normally. I thought I was fucking dying during it. All right, I think that's everything, Darren. Because I stopped taking notes, and I know there was a bit more.
Yeah, there was a little bit after that. We had the scene where they kind of got together, and we get the explanation of what was going on the roof, and
you know, she turns the tables on the woman who runs the occult shop. And
by that point, my face was kind of much like your body was stuck in a particular position. My face was stuck in a puzzled position from the fucking sex scene in the meat locker through the rest of the movie.
Yeah, I know. Just so I think that's about it, is it not?
Yeah, it's got to be.
Is there anything more to
I don't think I can speak any further about it.
I can't speak more ill of it.
I think we're not doing our reputations any good continuing to speak about it. Because whoever watches it, if they did it on our recommendation, they'll be pretty upset with us, I think.
Definitely. All right, that was Silent Night, Deadly Night 4 Initiation. You can find us on Podomatic, iTunes, Spotify, and everywhere else you get your podcasts. Send us an email at thrillme@iinet.net.au. Like us on Facebook at Thrill Me Podcast Australia, and Podomatic at thrillme.podomatic.com, and on Instagram at thrillmepodcast.au. Make sure to rate and review us on all the platforms. Keep an eye on the Facebook page for details of the next movie. I'll give you a hint. Part 5.
Fair chance.
Fair chance. But until then, take it easy, everyone, and we'll catch you later. Cheers.
Find the podcast at Podomatic or on iTunes. Don't forget to rate and review. Like us on Facebook at Thrill Me Podcast Australia, or contact us at thrillme, all one word, all lowercase, at iinet.net.au.